Week three always tends to be a more difficult week for folks, and they get a little shell shocked when they see their grade on the short answer. And the reason being is because we are introducing you, or reintroducing you, as the case may be, to APA. And APA is a very exact medium to document the sources that you use in your paper. And you're going to find that professors in this program are kind of all over the map on these. There are going to be some who are going to be very, very hard, specific, and make sure that you do it to the T, and some who will be a little looser, if you will, than that. But what I have to do in this first class is I have to get you prepared for that really, really difficult one. And so week three focused on APA citations and references. And what I tried to do in the short answer question here was give you the most frequently used citations and references. Now, I hope that you all spent the time, energy, and effort up here in week three to go to the read and study and look at the citations piece, look at the videos that I provided on APA citations and reference formats. I've given you a help sheet here too, and then some APA formatting tips and searches for Purdue OWL. I can normally tell whenever I'm grading the papers or the short answers this week, I could tell which students actually went in and looked at these and which ones didn't do it. So for those of you who are really disappointed with your scores this week on the short answer exercise, I would direct you back here to week three to rewatch these videos, look at all the information that is in here, and would encourage you to continue to look at those and to watch those. So let's just go into this for a minute. I just want to give you the proper citations and references for the items that are on the questions this week. And if you'll notice this week, the citations, for example, the first one was a single author. And some of you put more than just the last name. Remember, citations have the last name or names of the author, the year of the publication, and then you'll notice down here that APA does not require, for paraphrased work, it does not require a page number, but it encourages a page number. So you're going to have some professors who are probably going to be looking for page numbers here on, regardless of whether it is a paraphrase or a direct quote. So that's why I put it in here. Now, in this paper, I gave you credit for either one. So this was the last name of the author, the year, and then the page number. And you use P period, not PG period, but P period. And then also note that the period goes after the citation, not before it. Okay? This one was a direct quote. Make sure that whenever you have a direct quote where you're using the exact words of your source, you have to use the quotation marks in there. And so that was that one. Whenever you have two authors, you use Brown and, which is the ampersand, not AND. A couple of you typed in AND. That is not correct. It's the ampersand and Doe formatting there. Now, this was a change here on number 4 in APA 7th edition. So if some of you are thinking about maybe your undergraduate days, it used to be 5 or more authors. Now it's 3 or more authors. If you have 3 or more authors, the citation is the first author's name, Brown, and then et al., period, comma. So anytime you have 3 or more authors, you have Brown, et al., period, comma, 2020, comma, P period 25, close parentheses, and then the period, okay? Now this fifth one gets some people confused as well. This is not Brown and Doe. If you would type in Brown and Doe here, then the assumption is that Brown and Doe were the co-authors. If you remember on the instructions on this one, you're citing 2 different sources who are in fact saying sort of the same thing. And so these are two sources saying the same thing, or relatively the same thing. And the way that you format those is you use Brown, comma, 2020, and then the page number, and then the semicolon. So that will designate that these are two unique sources who are saying the same thing. So that's how you format that. I'm not going to go through all of the details on these, but the references, this is the most common, and I'll highlight the most common errors that students have. And this, if you watch my video before in lesson 3, you're going to hear the same thing. But the title of a book, or the title of a journal article, or the title of a website article are all formatted the same way. In a book, however, you use the italics, but the first word is capitalized and all subsequent words are lowercase letters. This is the biggest issue that students have. They will capitalize every word in there, and that is not correct. Now, there are two exceptions to this. The two exceptions are a proper name, which here, Reed is one of the names of the author, so that is a proper name, so you capitalize it, or the word immediately following a colon. So, first word capitalized, all subsequent words lowercase, except if you have a proper name or if there is a colon there, the word immediately following the colon is capitalized. Okay, so that is the biggest opportunity that I have, and I see it all the time with students, is they forget to do that and they just capitalize everything. Okay, so here's a journal article with two authors. You put the author's last name and then the first initial, and then you use ampersand, again, not and then you have the title of the journal article, capitalize the first word, the rest of them are lowercase. And then you have the title of the journal, which is capitalized and in italics, okay? And then journal articles without DOIs. Since there is no DOI, APA 7th edition recommends not including the web address. So you'll notice in this one that the web address was not included. Now, if you have a website with two authors, you put the year of publication and the date of the publication, and then you have the title, Working Adults in Higher Education. And again, first word capitalized, subsequent words lowercase letters, okay? And then finally here, if you have the website and you have the DOI, you don't include both. DOI takes precedence over those, okay? So I just want to make sure that you look at those, that you pay attention to those going forward. And then again, I strongly encourage you to go back here to week 3 and look for and rewatch some of the videos. The other thing you can do, and I encourage students to do this regularly, if you have a question about how to format something, just go to Google and type it in. Now, sometimes your sources are going to be a little crazy, but if you have a good source like Purdue OWL and other ones like that, then I would encourage you to use it. So, for example, if you're all hung up and you don't want to go to the APA Blue Book and say, how do I format a journal article with two authors in APA 7th edition? Okay? Then what you're going to get here, you're going to get a lot of library guides from different universities, but look down here. You have Purdue OWL, that is a good source. You can click that, and when you follow that through, it's going to take you exactly to the page that talks about how to format those. EasyBib is a good one as well as you go forward. And so I would just encourage you, if you're really stumped on something, don't use Google for your sources, but use your Google to go find how you can format some of your sources there, okay? So just one other tip for you. If you have any questions about this, or if you want to spend some time with me on a Zoom call, I would be more than happy to do that. But it's going to take work, and you got to put the work in here on APA. It's not my favorite thing either, but this is a master's degree program, and master's degree programs require you to have proper formatting of your sources. Okay, Hope this helps.